And we are back. This is the Common Knowledge Podcast, sitting right across from me, Mr. Android family.
Samsung family, but yeah, Android by default.
Android, Samsung, anything that's not Apple. So it's all the same. But you got No Idols, aka No ID. Mr. Integrity right here, man. He show up to get the job done. My man's sitting to the left of me, Big KC 310. Now he's an Apple man. Man, this is we got more of a closer bond.
I like my fruit. Pause. I like my fruit. Pause.
This is an Apple man, and we got another returning guest, second episode. But of course, we got Jamil here, and you got your host, Ken the analyst.
Thoughtful man.
Yeah, I'm here to make it happen. Here to make it happen, and
entrepreneur.
We locked in.
Don Julio spokesman.
Huh?
Don Julio spokesman.
Oh yeah. Send that check. I'm working on that. I'll be sending you an email. I'm working on it. But I wanted to start off with, we was talking off mic, and we was talking about the importance of patriarchy and being dominant with your life, but also with your family. Mm-hmm. And you were saying that you did a lot of research on that.
Yes.
Can you tell me what have you came up with, or what came out of the things you learned about patriarchy and how you feel about it?
Yeah. So patriarchy, it comes at a lot of different layers. We have a society layer to it, and then you have it in work, and you also have it in a household. And I have done my research. I looked online. I've listened to an audiobook by Alan G. Johnson. I spoke to my therapist about it. Because I had no idea what it was.
It lives in us.
It does. But dominance
live in a man. Being a patriarch, that's just in you.
Right.
But what people mean when they say patriarchy, like differs from person to person. So right. As you were searching for those answers, what did you feel like it means to you now? What do you think it means now?
So basically, patriarchy is pretty much means male dominance. Also means male centered, especially in society. It's the whole thing of only a man can do this job, or only, a man can, have money and things like that, So, in typically in society that is looked down upon. But when it comes to relationships, I have a very open mind about it, and I think when it comes to relationships, each couple works differently.
Okay.
I understand both sides also, but, it at the end of the day, it just depends on, who you are and, what works best for, for the couple themselves. So, for example, my relationship is more like a diplomatic type of relationship because I know.
Real quick. You don't gotta go. You can be general.
I'll be real general.
All right, cool.
I'll be real general. But it's just a diplomatic type of relationship. Simply because mainly because it's our personality.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It's not everybody's personality.
So you more submissive?
It's not a submissive thing. Diplomatic.
No,
diplomatic is not submissive.
Are you a submissive man?
So no.
Okay.
And you would be talking about matriarchy at that point. You see what I'm saying? Where the woman is the dominant one, and the female, the woman.
Diplomatic is more like both people got to say so, but that means that you have a submissive quality in you because you have to submit to and obey her as well as her to you.
So I'll say this: when it comes to a lot of things, but when it comes to patriarchy and diplomatic, it's more like a scale. It's not all that black and white. You see what I'm saying? For example, you know, you may be more towards patriarchy. I know it actually. You know, and me, I'll be more, my scale is towards diplomatic more, but it doesn't mean it's all the way on that end. You see what I'm saying?
I believe in a so let's say I had a woman. I'm making 100,000. She making 100,000. We gonna be diplomatic in this relationship because we both are contributing to this relationship. But if I am the sole provider, I am the one bringing everything to the table. I am the patriarch because without me, everything crumbles, everything falls apart. You are going to have to submit and obey me because I'm paying for everything. Without me, there's no show. You at mama, grandma, and them house without me taking charge and leading the way. I am the patriarch.
I got you. But
in that situation,
I got you. But patriarchy and diplomacy can go beyond finances. You see what I'm saying? It does have to do with, you know, just who you are as a person. So, for example, me, I quite naturally, you know, I want to be in a diplomatic relationship because, you know, I do, you know, respect, you know, her side.
And you
her,
having that input.
Exactly. I do want her to have some kind of input because I want someone on my side.
she can have input, but not much.
There's a cap to everything. Like I said, I'm not all the way on that side. You see what I'm saying? So basically, like just like the government, you know, you have Republicans, you have Democrats, and they have to come together to, you know, sign on the bill.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And who's got to sign off on it? The president does at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So I kind of look at my diplomatic relationship the same way. You know, I'm one party to the house, and I'm also the executive. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, because like I definitely I understand what you're saying, and you like having that input, but also like when you are the man and you have to make those decisions, that means that also leads you to being responsible when shit is fucked up, right? So it's like you want input, but if you get bad input, you still responsible for all the failures.
Right.
So when I realized that when I was younger, I'm like, okay, so at the end of the day, this is about to be on me, so I gotta make a lot of harsh decisions and hard cutoffs because I know that if I let this get too far, then I still have to deal with it. Because like they'll be like, oh, you know, I think this is a good idea. That shit burns up. Then they be like, what are we gonna do? So this was your idea.
Why did you let me make that decision?
Yeah,
you should have told me no.
So you're responsible for their decisions, but you want some of their input. So, but like it comes to that point that you got to make a hard cut. So like, how do you juggle that?
well, I want to back up just for a little bit because the type of person I am, you know, I am a pretty agreeable person. You know, not saying I agree with everything.
Not a pushover though.
Not a pushover. Not anybody gullible or anything like that. But that just comes from me having an open mind and can always see both sides of the story.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if I see where she's coming from, then maybe whatever plan that I have on my side, we can find a way to meet in the middle with that. You see what I'm saying? That way we can both, you know, have what we want out of it. You know, it may not be all of it, but we both can work as a couple to get to the next place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the part of your question?
I was just saying, because like if you are going to be responsible for all the decisions that's made, no matter who makes them, how do you decide when you should be only one making decisions? Because it's like, you want input, but you're still going to be responsible.
Right.
At the end of all the failures or benefits or whatever, you're responsible for everything.
Pretty much. And I take responsibility for everything that happens in my life, regardless if, you know, it was something that was in my control or not. Because 99% of the time, you can do something about it, you know. So, yeah, if something fails through, it is my responsibility. She had an input, but like in my relationship in particular, not only am I one of the party one side of the party, but I'm also the executive branch. I'm the president that signs off on it. You see what I'm saying?
So if your lady said, well, not your lady, this is hypothetical.
Okay.
We're not talking about your relationship at all here on Common Knowledge today. So if your lady said she wanted a new Benz truck, you said, no, we can't afford that shit. And then she go ahead behind your back. She go to the Benz dealership and you see a Benz truck parked out front of your house. What are you doing?
Yeah, so
I mean,
so did she buy the
ambulance going past?
Ambulance went past.
She signed your name for it.
She forged my signature.
She said you her husband. You her husband. You responsible. You just said you responsible for everything.
Yeah.
She going to sign up for this truck. She say I'm married to and they sign up with that truck and it's parked in front of your house, and you responsible to pay those $2,500 car payments.
Hypothetically speaking, I don't know how that would happen. With that if she forged my signature, then we're going to court. But yeah, but I see the gist of your question. If she just go ahead and do something, even though I already said
you said no, and so
right.
She basically disobeyed.
Yeah, right.
Like, what are you doing in this situation?
Right, and I'm responsible.
And you're responsible.
That's a good question. So basically, since I'm responsible, now I have to find a way to pretty much fix this. Just like we would have to have a long conversation to see why was this important, and also we would have to change some things since I didn't agree to it. She's gonna have to handle those payments. You see what I'm saying? And now she owes me her life. You see what I'm saying? Even though I'm married to her. She's gonna have to pretty much understand that, went against what he said. Now, I'm gonna have to do my part, because, if she does not, do her part, then, it's still my responsibility.
You're gonna have to pay.
It's still my responsibility for, who I married. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and how did I put things to make it seem like she could do this? You see what I'm saying?
So, like, if something like that ends up happening, do you slide your diplomatic skill? So you gotta be like, I can't be as diplomatic in these situations because I gotta make some hard cutoffs.
Yeah. No, and the reason why I say that, because that's just who I am.
So you're still a diplomat.
I can't. I'm not changing who I am. I'm not gonna try to be more, patriarch, just because one thing happened. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
real quick. So, and I don't know the full definition of patriarch and diplomat and everything, but what I do think is, and what I do know, and I'm just gonna speak for me. I understand the diplomat part, but I also understand that the diplomat is because I allow it. So it does get to a point where, that your significant other have to know that every move that she's making or everything that she do is because you allow it. If she thinks that she's doing it on her own accord, or you or your word don't have any weight to it, now we have a problem. And then now that's when the president part of you kicks in and turns stuff down and just have harsh laws.
Executive orders.
Exactly.
Yeah, executive orders.
Exactly.
So I'm with you with the diplomatic part. Just hearing the person now, let the person have fun. Like, you could decorate the crib, or put a picture up there, or you can get the groceries, or okay, we can get a car, whatever the case may be, if you feel like we need one. But at the end of the day, it must be a thing knowing that everything that's transpired is because I allow it. So when I think about, when you say the type of person you are, you still have to guard, your character with your life. Right. So I know for me, you know, there's things about me that because, you know, I'm very nonchalant and easygoing for the most part. But whenever it's time to put your foot down, that's when the line is drawn, and then the level of respect must automatically kick in on their end.
Yeah.
And everything. So that's the thing on that part. So when you say, you know, I'm not gonna change because of what society says, it's not even about society at this point. At this point,
not at home.
At this point, it's just okay. You need to, as long as you know that everything that transpire is because I allow it. We can be a diplomatic society.
When it's a man and a woman locked in a room together, that man knows he's a man. That woman knows knows that he's a man, and they operate in a whole different way. With society, all of this stuff is fabricated. How people thinking this and that and the third is like, you know, my dominance when we in that room together. That woman knows, just like I feel her powers as well. But it's like the diplomatic route is all right, I guess, but at the end of the day, I'm in charge. She know I'm in charge.
And it's not really you don't want to look at it as you changing as within the person, as you changing as a person. It's just about knowing how much you can trust that person with what choices they can make. Like I got kids, my eldest, I'm trying to teach him responsibility and trying to give him certain responsibility, and he be like, and he's eager about it as well. So he'd be like, Dad, I could do this, Dad, I could do this, and I'll give him that chance. And I will take his input, but if he starts, you know, bumping his head and making too many mistakes, then I got to reel him back. And that doesn't mean that I'm changing who I am as a person. Right. It's just about me just realizing what point that he's at and what he can handle and deal with. Right. Because his everything that he does is still on me, still my responsibility. Even though I'm trying to teach him about responsibility, he still minds my responsibility.
Right. No, I understand that. So where I am on this patriarch diplo scale, you know, is at a spot that, you know, it is not gonna change, because it's like I do have some patriarch part in it. You see what I'm saying? And that should be enough, because if I'm naturally more diplomatic, I'm not gonna go all the way on the other side, because the further I go on that scale, it's like the less of me there is. You see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but let's imagine you have two kids, right?
Okay.
And you have a responsible child, and then you have an irresponsible child. How you act with the responsible one versus the irresponsible one is different, but that doesn't mean that you're changing as a person.
No,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So your scale is not changing. Right. But we moving through with people and situations.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, it's not that you're changing anything, but it's about like, if something is happening that you're also responsible for, sometimes you got to make harsh choices.
Adjust.
Exactly.
You have to adjust.
That's
it's not you changing it all.
Okay, I got what you're saying. Yeah, and that's the executive part right there, is, you know, that's where the line's drawn.
But I'm a because we gotta get ready to wrap it up. But I do want to ask you a question. I want to ask the crew a question. What is a hard stance that you have on your life or your personality that you would not let or allow your significant other change about you?
That's a good question.
I'm not letting her change shit about me.
I'm not.
And it is my way or the highway. If she don't like what she gets, she need to go and get another dick. You feel me? Because it is what it is. It's like, I am who I am. If I change anything about myself and conform to make her more comfortable, she's not even comfortable with me. So why is she with me in the first place? If you need a dude that can bring you something different, you be with him. You find that guy. You don't try to change me from who I am, because now I'm not the individual that I was before you. Wow. So I'm losing respect from myself You know what I'm saying? I'm losing respect of myself as a man.
Yeah.
Because I can't sit in my own body and be proud of who I am because I'm shape-shifting for this bitch.
Well, there goes the kid-only episode, kid-friendly episode. So, I tried. Big KC, he just won't let us have it. It ain't gonna never be only for kids.
I bet. I bet.
What about you, man?
I'll only do change only if I'm really gonna benefit from it. If I'm truly gonna be a better person from it.
Yeah.
Then I understand, and that's my open-mindedness to listen to the other side, like, because I'm me. I can only be in my body.
Yeah.
It's not always easy to see from the outside coming in, and if they see that from the outside coming in, I'm not gonna lie. There's some things that some feedback that I do accept from her, even if it's not feedback that I want to hear.
Okay.
And if I can see, okay, this is an area I can truly
Trust.
Trust and evolve as a man, evolve from, then I can take that under consideration, and same thing on the other side.
Yeah.
I do it with her also. If there's some things that she could, do better, to be a better woman, and she do take that under consideration also.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That speaks. What about you, No ID, Mr. Android family?
Samsung family, but
Same difference.
But it's about really staying focused and knowing who you are just as a man. Because like women, they can be real about emotions, but we have to maintain logic.
Yeah.
So like I ended up mentioning to y'all before about how like I kind of became like a parent to my baby brother and sister. Mm-hmm. My mother was in a coma. My stepdad was in jail and all of that. Yeah. But how much time I would invest and spend with my quote unquote kids, my brother and sister. My wife wasn't really feeling that at the time. Yeah. She was, you're just too focused with them. You're too involved with them. You need to be, you're ignoring me and this and this. But like I had to see past where she was at in that moment, but just know that that's who I was. So then we come around that everything that I was to my baby brother and sister, that's now who I am to our kids. So the things that she didn't used to appreciate is the things that she now loved me for. So if I were to let her change me based off her emotions, we wouldn't be here today.
That's amazing. For me, it's I don't have any kids, but just my character in total, right? So it's like, I done been in situations where I done dated females that felt like, oh man, you too curious, you like to try new things and I don't want to try new things, or you play video games and I don't care for that. And I done put females in the same position, like, don't ever make me choose, and they still stuck around. So,
if I'm going to choose me or you, I'm choosing me every time.
Yeah. So, those are, that the inner child in me, I would never let anybody take that from me. That's a hard stance that I would never let go and everything. But for the most part, as long as, and to answer my own question, yes, it will probably be like the video game. GTA drop, it's going to be a lot of time into that system, and I feel sorry. But but for the most part, to be honest and everything, as long as I know that she knows that at will, if I say something, she knows that my heart is good, and I'm leading the family in the right direction, and she trusts me, then we can go as far as to the end of the earth. Right. But if she don't do that and she's fighting with me or questioning my steps, and she's not sure, then that's where we have to part ways.
Right.
And everything. But other than that, this is the Common Knowledge Podcast. I got Mr. Samson, a.k.a. Mr. Android Man over here, a.k.a. No ID, a.k.a. No Idols, Big KC, 310, an honest man, a real man.
So,
KC is like an as-is car. You just got to take it as is. There's no fixing, nothing. You get what you pay for with him. That's it, that's all. Jamil, thank you for showing up. A close brother of mine, somebody that I love, somebody I fight with, somebody somebody that just mean a lot to me and everything. Hopefully you'll be back and everything. And your host, Ken the Analyst.
My man.
I'm out of here.
Big man. Let's go.